Hello everyone and welcome back to my freak show. Woo! Guys, this episode gave us a lot of information to process. So let's get to my brief synopsis and then to my review. Now, of course, spoiler warning, and I'm even more convinced now that poor Doris's baby is going to get in someone else's belly by the season's end. Now, this episode starts with Harry, Doris, and Alma. They're leaving the house, so they're in the car. But right when it's time to pull away, the pill basically kicks in and Harry is inspired to write. He basically just yeets right out of his car, grabs his laptop, and starts writing right in the house for 4 hours. And in that 4 hours, he writes his pilot episode. Of course, Doris is a good wife, and she tells Alma that they just need to support him. And Alma tells her mother that she saw her dad take a pill. And she thinks that taking a pill will help her too, the way it helped her dad. But no, guys, that pill definitely has drawbacks. Doris tells her, no, you don't, he didn't take anything and you don't want to take anything. So Harry at this point does not want to leave after that 4 hours anymore. And then he suddenly snaps at Doris and Alma for being quote unquote jealous over his talent. So they leave, but later Doris and Alma return with dinner. And Harry has calmed down and he takes that time to apologize to Alma for snapping at her. And very quickly, I have to say that while typing up the script for this video, I typed continually like Harry did on his laptop. Now that's normally how I type. I type really fast. So I had to stop for a moment and kind of examine the irony in this video, guys. And also, it is so much lower too from them banging on a typewriter. I could only imagine if Harry was using a typewriter, how fucking loud he would be at that point. Anyway, Larry tries to eat a sandwich, but he does find himself sick over the food. Doris accuses him of taking speed or, some kind of other drug to create, but he insists that he hasn't touched anything and that he's just not hungry. The next morning, Harry goes to the grocery store and he sees the vampires on his way. Basically, he's like an Officer Bob Rooney. He's like, V is for vampire. Do, and continues to the market. What? Guys, strange things are happening around this town, like dead bodies washing up on shore in the previous episode. The town is infested with vampires, and this dude just continues on like he never saw anything. Like he's a kid and he got spotted by his parents sneaking into the candy. So he just closes his eyes and pretends that he doesn't exist. Anyway, the vampires, they all surround him and they start sniffing him, but they do leave him alone because he took the pills. So then, at that time, Harry just leaves as if it were some kind of just normal day and continues to the grocery store. Guys, this town gives off so many red flags that even the porch lights turn red at night. The eeriness is incredible, I do have to say. But Harry's reluctance to leave after so many red flags shows how desperate he is to become rich and famous for his writing. Now, when Harry heads to the meat section, everybody in town basically knows that Harry has took the pill, from the supermarket guy to Karen. And when Doris cuts her finger while making dinner, Harry just gets all excited and he starts sucking the blood from her finger. And disturbed by his own actions, Harry does go to see Austin and he wants an explanation. And Austin explains that the pill in more detail. He explains that this unknown person called the chemist created the pill, but it only works if you have talent. The vampires in the village took the pill, but they don't have talent, so they turned into blood-sucking monsters. For those people like Harry, the pill depletes 4 major minerals in the blood because they work. So they have to consume blood in order to compensate for the missing minerals. I mean, there is a cure. Harry can just stop taking the pill, but sadly, he'll never be able to write again. Now, he goes home basically to apologize to Doris, and he promises that they're gonna leave tomorrow. However, Ursula calls him and tells him that the script that he faxed to her is an immediate success. Netflix wants in, Joaquin Phoenix wants to star, and he'll even do it for free. I mean, they're going to be rich. Doris's anger over being sucked and stuck there literally leaves whenever she finds out Harry's hard work paid off and she's gonna be rich. And she happily leaves Harry to write. But the hunger takes over Harry, and he goes over to Austen's house, and Belle is there. And they expose their real teeth to him, and they take him out for dinner just outside of town. Because the rules of them being vampires in the town are that they never feed on the people that live in the town, and they never remove their gloves while they're eating. Now they show up to an addict's house, and they kill him, and Harry is taking part in drinking the blood. Austen and Belle observe that Harry's not going to be able to really tear flesh very well with his teeth, so they refer him to a dentist who's going to sharpen his teeth for him. Now, meanwhile, at Mickey's little shabby shack, he allows Karen to stay at his place. It's really cold, and nobody else allows Karen any places to stay ever. They get really high, and they start talking about their talent. Mickey is a writer, and Karen is an artist. And he jokes that they should take 2 pills that he stole from Belle. Now, Karen refuses to take the pill because being who she is better than being Belle. And they do fantasize about being rich and famous after Mickey shows Karen a whole bunch of paintings that he bought at the Goodwill that Karen painted when she was much younger and in college. But, even after fantasizing about being rich and famous and being better than everybody, Karen refuses to take the pill. But not Mickey. He definitely takes one. The next day, Harry goes to see Dr. Feldman, played by the magnificent Billie Lourd. Yay, guys! She is a fellow artist who took the pill and turned into a tattoo artist. While she drills Harry, Alma drills down one of her dad's pills out of creative frustration. And I think we all kind of expected that to come. Suddenly, Mickey is writing, Alma is playing perfectly, and Harry is finishing his work, leaving Doris the only one uninspired. Now, guys, at this point, many times before actually, I do wonder if Doris will take one of the pills, become successful and eat her own baby. But I don't know, that just might be a little too dark for this story. But it honestly would be pretty badass to see Doris embrace the pills and the consequences way more than Harry already has. The pill has already turned Alma into a little asshole, and she degrades her own mother mentally. Doris sends Alma to her room, has a little nap, and then when she goes to find Alma, she's gone from her room. She goes searching through the town to find her, and she does find Alma in the cemetery, eating an animal. Now, this, guys, in my humble opinion, was a fantastic episode. Again, Finn and Lily were front and center, but I sincerely loved the scene between Mickey and Karen. We got such a good look into their world with just one conversation, one scene, and discovered that there's so much more to their characters than the typical stereotypes placed upon them. Loved those moments in the show. I also loved that Alma took one of the pills. I have so many theory ideas just from these first 2 episodes, guys. I mean, at one point, I even started to wonder if Doris took one of them and is not creative and will turn into one of the vampires in the town. But, with her being pregnant, I doubt she's going to take any kind of unknown drug. However, she did mention that the owners of the house want her to do the entire house now, where before, when they first arrived, I think they only asked her to do certain rooms. But like Harry, she has tremendous pressure placed upon her, especially since Harry kind of ratted her out, saying she didn't complete her last job. I think she caved and took one of the pills, and it didn't work for her. But again, I do doubt this idea because she is pregnant, and no pregnant woman ever wants to hurt her unborn child. And who's going to eat her baby? I mean, come on, guys. Doris is heavy pregnant and nearly ready to give birth. We don't know anything about the baby other than the fact that Doris is pregnant. They're not doing anything to get ready for the birth. Where's the nursery, the diapers, bottles, breast pump, monitors, crib, and all that jazz? Don't tell me they left it in New York because they're in Providence Town for 3 months. She needs those supplies and a doctor or at least a midwife. And where is all that stuff? It's so odd and creepy. What's the sex? How far along is she? I mean, I love all of this stuff, guys. So just let me know what you think of all this stuff in the comments, and let me know if you want to make those theory videos. Because I did notice that when Doris was in the cemetery at the end of the episode, that the vampires did not come after her. They did the same thing. They were sniffing the air and they left her alone. So I wondered, did she take the pill? But this episode was definitely fantastic, especially with a fantastic soundtrack. We had Deftones and Massive Attack, and those were just the bands that I had time to note. I would like to note that Belle called the new sheriff, Adina Porter, a nosy bitch. But if Adina just walked around on any street, she'd find those vampires. They're on every corner like a McDonald's or a prostitute. I mean, she doesn't have to look very hard. I mean, freaking Harry found them on the way to the grocery store. So why hasn't she seen them yet? Is she blind? We may have gotten a lot of, we're leaving first thing tomorrow, only to stay behind for some reason. And maybe, yeah, that was a little irritating. Excuse me, I can't even talk right now. But I absolutely loved this episode. Another tantalizing buildup with what I'm praying will be a pleasureful payoff. And I'm so glad that we got to know certain information, such as more about the vampires and how they were created, a little more information about the pill and the backslides of it. Just another great episode. I sincerely enjoyed it enough to watch it over 6 times, honey. I'm so ready for episode 3 next week, guys. Now let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments, please. And now that we know more about the pill Muse, what it does, and the consequences of taking it, I really want to know if you guys would take it. Now, personally, I would love to take it, but I draw the line at eating people and babies. So I'll just stick with being an ordinary author. So let me know your opinion in the comments, guys. Of course, weekly Wednesday live streams are every single Wednesday on my channel. And if you're still hungry, you can snack on my AHS theory videos. There's plenty and brand new ones. Bro, make sure you like and subscribe. Till then, thanks for watching, y'all, and beware of our girl, Sexy Scathach.